Hi, good morning. Thank you for coming and joining me in my shop here for day 2 on this radio. Today is November 3rd. So what I hope to do today is get this radio operating without changing any parts, see how that goes, and install the string on it. So I want to get it going as quick as I dare, because that's kind of proof of tubes are good, coils are good, all that kind of stuff. So even if it doesn't work well, getting it working to pretty much any degree is beneficial. And I'm able to start it without taking much risk in things. But first, I think I'd like to make sure these tubes are the right tubes and they're in the right position. So fortunately, there's some very good information about this radio. Here's an example of it here. This has come from Radio Museum, and there's a number of models that are similar. Some have the clock off to the side, that kind of thing. So they're littered throughout this information. There's various models. That's the 548. That's the one I have, 598. Here's the 518. So this is what we want to look at. Very good. So we'll start with the rectifier tube. Should be, I'm not going to test them. I'll let the radio do the testing here. So this should be a 35W4. It certainly is. Okay. Pulling them out and putting them in is a little bit. It might improve the tube contact. Wow, it's really got a grip on it. There we go. Sylvania, made in the USA. BE6. That's right up here. That's correct. 12BE6. So this will have the sort of a standard set of tubes that all these radios have. There's only 2 or 3 standard sets, so to speak. You find over and over and over. 12BA6. That's correct. This is the IF amplifier. Okay, so looks like these are in the right position. But it's always worth checking. I was a little suspicious about the location of the rectifier tube. .50C5, so this is the output tube that's powering the speaker. .50C5. Okay, the last one. Corrosion on the pins here. This is going to be 12AT6, I believe. 12AT6, and it should be a 12AT6. Very good. So we have the right tubes in the right place. Well, okay, this is moving fine. Well, I think it's time to start it up. Let me just take another peek underneath, because my day's gone by. Nothing scary under there. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. Okay, so on-off control is going to be in these buttons here. Maybe it's on the information there. So auto, off, manual, timer, alarm set. So on, off is here. I have one knob. I'm going to put that on the on, off. Yikes. So I would imagine off is here. Yikes. Okay, I'm saying yikes because of the way the switch is made in there. It just looks like it's all right out in the open. Okay, let's do a little cord inspection. So yesterday's video I uploaded, and for some reason it showed up as a standard definition video on YouTube instead of a high definition video, and I really have no idea why that happened. Seems to me YouTube just made a decision about it. So I hope that doesn't happen today. Bit of a rough spot there. Paint. All good radios have paint on them, by the way. If your old radio doesn't have paint on it somewhere, paint speckles. Okay, so I'm going to plug this into a controlled power source. First of all, it's a isolation transformer. You've probably noticed this guy in the background, but I'm actually talking about an additional transformer ahead of that, which ensures that even this doesn't have a functioning ground terminal on it, even though it looks like it does. And this is just set to 120 volts, so we can just pretend that's not even there. What I'm really counting on are these two light bulbs up on top here. I'm going to unscrew one. So the power getting to the radio is going to go through this light. Anything seriously wrong with the radio, the light will come on really bright, and whatever's wrong here won't catch fire. That's kind of the idea. So I think it's turned off. So we're going to apply some power through those lights. So watching the lights. Okay, so nothing happens. So you may have seen this meter jump up. So this meter is showing the voltage here. It's not very accurate, but it says 130. It's certainly not 130. It's 126. It's 126. So I also have this device, which is much more precise, 122. Let's just take it down to like 117, somewhere in that range. Hey, this meter is really accurate. Okay. Now, I'm going to turn the power off. I'm going to throw the switch on and turn the power back on. That's my plan. Okay, did that just come on? I think that's on. Oh, stomach. There we go. Watching the lights. So we still have the same voltage here. No power going through the radio. Well, I can turn it one step further here. So, oh, look at that. The clock is going. And it's quiet. That's excellent. Most of these older clocks make a shimmy noise while they're operating. And I think it's just a sign of them wearing out too. Look at that. So why no radio? Why no radio? Let's look at the controls again. Did I not understand it right? Auto, off, manual. So maybe it was on auto to begin with. Now it's off. One more rotation will be on. Okay, power off over here. One more rotation. There is no more rotation. Let's take a close look into this on-off area here. Oh, look who's coming. Joined us here. You were outside today, weren't you? In the snow. Yeah, there's snow out there. She's not too happy about it. She's switched into her winter mode, which is joining me on the bench each morning. This is her thing. All summer, outside. But now back in here. Okay, let's switch to the other camera and see what we can see with it. If we can see anything yet. Okay. Now, did I call this the on-off area? I think I said that crazy phrase. Okay, let's see if we do a little better with the lighting here. Okay, so the power's off. I'm going to rotate the switch. You can see it's driving this gear. Seems to have only 2 settings. What exactly is going on down there? Let me just see if I can get a little bit of a better picture here. Bringing up the focus dialog box. Where exactly is the switch? There's a lot of parts moving in there. Well, you can look at that. I don't really see what's happening. Let's get a poker out here. This rod here. That looks suspiciously like something that should be throwing a toggle back and forth, and this looks like this top part here looks like a grip. Or something that gets pushed. It's not going anywhere. It's supposed to go somewhere. Way down deep there is let's focus a little lower on this yet. So often in these old radios, the on-off switch is broken for various reasons. So there's a roller here. What's it rolling on? Like it's there to roll on something. Something's supposed to roll on it. I see a long lever. Looks like a long lever. We've got to find the switch. Find the switch because there's wires going to it. Let's see where the switch is. Don't see any wires down here. Well, the cord comes in the back of the radio. It's in the back. somehow it reaches the on-off switch. Okay, it's not plugged in. Fairly heavy white wire here going up, and some other lighter wires going up. This is right on the power cord. So looking up in the gap here. See white wires going up to what would look like a switch. Could be the motor. See another wire going up higher. See a black housing with a crack in it. Yikes. Okay, so here's the motor. Here's the motor leads right up on top here. That's a good place to get a shock, by the way, Jim. And put your hand up against that in various ways. So another wire is coming up to this clip, which I think is going to the panelescent light. Yesterday I was looking for analescent. I wondered, is there a letter missing? Yes, the P is missing. It's panelescent. Panel. So a lot of spring-loaded stuff here. Ooh, just popped something. Let's switch cameras again. So pop in the sense that it operated the way it was intended to operate there. Who's this guy? Down there for a switch. Looking for a wire soldered on a terminal or something of that sort. No. Well, there's something down there. What is that connection? So let's just change the focus again a little bit. So in the early stages of working on a radio like this, I don't mind poking around kind of somewhat randomly. And so I have a topic here to poke around on. Where is the power switch? In the meantime, I might discover all kinds of stuff. What's this? What's this? Got a big insulating sleeve on it, fairly heavy wire coming up. Oh, that looks certainly like this would be the on-off switch right in here, this brown housing. Right in there. So somehow mechanically things have to work down to that level. Yeah. I'm going to look into this mess of gears here and somehow... Well, see, there's stuff moving way down there. So usually a rod, like the one you see going back and forth right now, back and forth, they're usually in sort of a finger arrangement. They come into, that looks like that down there. Finger arrangement. What are you talking about? I have to show you. What's the roller for? Well, I think that's one terminal to the switch we found. The other one would probably be just down below. Let me see if I can fish this camera into a better position here. Maybe not. It doesn't look like it's going to fit in here. There's a secret message buried deep in the radio. See anything interesting. We're looking right underneath the clock and the camera's upside down at this point. But, it's the back of the clock, information about the clock. I can't get the camera to tip up and see up underneath. Turning the front controls here. So this one is spring loaded. Oh, let's turn it right side up. When you push it in, it pushes this side lever here. Side lever, I'm just making words up as I go. That's what the retraction spring is for. Oh, pushed it all the way in. What happened? Pushed it all the way in and it permanently blocks this. This might be the alarm control. So when it's in, it's de-geared. When it's out, gears up. And we're probably, what are we turning? Probably turning the alarm setting. Yeah, the red pointers. So it's set to ring at alarm o'clock. 9 o'clock. Yeah, set that to alarm o'clock. Okay. That'd be pretty creative to come up with all this stuff. A lot of it's just possible this is the buzzer. This piece is the actual buzzer, but I'm not sure of that at all. Otherwise, it's, what is it? It's a hold still. Otherwise, I don't know what that is. Okay. Where is the switch? Why is it not coming on? Where are some wires I can test across? Well, we know as soon as I plug it in, we know the clock motor starts working, so we know there's power getting into the radio. Getting into the clock, rather. I'm not seeing it. I'm just not finding it, not seeing it. It's buried too low. How am I going to know if it's the switch that's causing this problem? What else could it be? What are you going to do about that? Oh my gosh, this is memories of the the FM radio I just finished, where I spent quite a few hours messing around with a relatively simple mechanical issue in the tuning system. Did I really turn it on? Skipping there. So we go. There's supposed to be 3 settings on this. One is auto. The other one one is on. Oh, wasn't it auto, off, and on? All in that little part gear there. And you see the big lever at the back that's moving, the brass part that's moving along. Now that's got to be operating the this on-off trigger. The amount of movement in it is. It doesn't seem to be doing anything. There, it seems to be engaged with something. I know I'm just muttering here as I do this. Son of a gun. I don't get it. I don't get it. So what should we do? We could assume the switch is broken open, stuck open. The other controls. Maybe the other controls are interfering here. Wow, yeah, maybe there's something in the other controls that needs to be sorted out here. Yes, my cat's still here. The other controls, alarm set, and the timer's in the middle. The timer, maybe that's, well, if it were operated, the set would come on, wouldn't it? So I think I just set it by turning it this way. So that should turn it on too. Okay, let's plug it in and try it all again. What do you say, Shadow? Good idea? Okay. Power up, but through the dim. Wow, okay. Time to get up. Buzzer works. Wow, that was the buzzer. Oh, somebody got up upstairs. Try it again. Okay, so I push this in, block the buzzer. Very good. Clock's running. Okay, maybe I was too rushed and didn't let the tubes warm up. Okay, so we would want this to be... You see that turn? I want to turn it on, but there's no on. And this guy, crank it back. This should bring it on for 30 minutes. Nothing coming on. There's nothing happening, Shadow. Well, I think, the best guess is the on-off switch is just stuck off. And I almost get the impression the mechanical linkages in here aren't correct. But what are the chances of that being the case? Now, what about this really cool panelescent light, which is, I'm sure, not on. There's a control back here. Come on, panelescent light. There's no light from the panel. No essence. It's a panelescentless light. Okay, I'm going to stop for a little bit, ponder the situation here, because this is a stupid situation. I'll probably end up shorting out the switch and enabling the power to get into the rest of the radio. What do you say, Shadow? A good idea? Let's turn the power off before something happens to my cat. Okay, slow going here. Okay, I think we need to see a little more. Let's drop this antenna again. See if we can't get it out of the way. dokie. Now we want to look up kind of through here. See what we can see. Like so. Okay. Now, you see there's a blue wire. Blue wire is going to the motor up above there. And the blue wire is disappearing into the chassis. The other motor wire is this white one. What's it doing there? Is that a joint on there? What exactly is going on? These just don't look quite right there. These are pretty. What's happening there? That looks like a taped up joint. Is that on a connector? That's the switch. That's the other side of the switch. So I think, yeah, switch, this black plastic material here is the switch housing. And the other wire is this one here, going to a terminal just out of view up here, we saw before. So this is the other terminal here. So I think it's almost like it's tapped off at this point. So power coming up on the white wire reaches that terminal that's covered in the shrink sleeve of what it looks like. And then the white wire continues on up to drive the clock. It's not through the switch, it's just using the terminal. And the power comes through and gets on this black wire, heads back into the radio. So if I were to short this terminal to the other terminal, I'd be shorting out the switch, which is the same as coming up here on this terminal and clipping it around to this one, if I could ever get a clip in there. That's not very likely. Follow the black wire down under, sort it out from below. Now, well, why doesn't the switch work? Let's work some controls here. So this is the on-off switch. And that levery looking thing looks like it's not a lever at all. This part right behind the white wire here. Looks like it's just part of the frame here. First it looked like it would be something that would move back and forth, but just an odd shape to it. And this is the motor housing here. And we have this gear sticking out. Okay, keep working the switch. Work the switch. And back and forth. Nothing happening. Okay, one in the middle. And the alarm set and control. So the alarm is off. Now the alarm would be on. Changing the alarm time. When does that gear move? Is that just a clock gear? Alarm back off. How come you're not moving? Well, maybe that's actually part of the clock itself mechanism. So where's the lever going into the switch then? It must be up in behind the clock. Ow. Gaining access to that. So that's a rivet there. So there's a screw there. another one down here. And this is a bracket on the radio. Oh, it looks like it's screwed in here. You could take that whole bracket, could come off the radio, but that wouldn't give you access. And this rivet is holding the front panel on, the panelescent light. Hey, maybe it's not working because of these crazy contacts here. Another view into the gears. Oh, that's a nicer view. That's a much nicer view. At least shows you lots of gears. This is kind of curious. Sticking out like that. That doesn't look particularly right. What is it? Oh, the screw just doesn't look right, but okay, one option is just to shoot a bunch of lubricant into all this. But it seems to me it's all moving fairly easily. This is the on-off switch. It doesn't move anything over here. This is the there, that's trying to set the alarm. Okay, turn it back off. Huh. I'd much rather have it work from the front. So, is that roller thing should be moving right now? And it's just stuck there? Is that what it is? If you look at that copper piece that's swinging back and forth, the thing I say should be in the finger. Let me show you what I mean. Finger's not the right word. I'm sure there's a particular word for this. So we have that rod going back and forth. And I think something like this sitting here. It swings down into it. Sometimes these things stay in it. I think the rod is rotating, so it's moving this way, so it's got to slide up and down as you operate it. Some of these things, it comes right out, comes in, click, go right out the other side, come back, click, right out the other side. Where's this? This part seems to be missing. Missing in action, literally. Huh. The only way to really examine it would be to open this whole thing up, and I'm not inclined to do that at all, because this actual part of the clock mechanism, which is holding all the gears in, is riveted together. There's a rivet here. It's so, you know, there's no taking it apart. You could take it potentially out. Can't even take it out because it's riveted to the front panel. So the most you can do is replace the entire clock mechanism. So you'd undo these nuts here. Out would come the entire clock mechanism, switch and all, and then in would go a new one. All riveted together. You'd be changing the front panel at that point too. So if your panelescent light stops working, You want a new one? A new panel, a new clock coming with it. And this really weird screw here. Apparently doing absolutely nothing, but it must be doing something. And then how to defeat the switch. Just trace the wires underneath. Put a short in underneath. Okay, let's take a look underneath. But first, am I a little crazy here? This metal adjustment, this is for setting the time on the clock, goes straight into the frame here, and so this is a chassis potential. This is a shock hazard. Wouldn't it be? Wouldn't it be? Okay, I'll flip this guy over. What we want to do is figure out which two wires are going up to the switch. That would be the goal here. If we can sort that out. So the two power wires are coming in. One is hooking up to this fairly fat wire disappearing through the hole. Other wire is going to this terminal, tying the black wire to this terminal with quite a few black wires hooked up to it. So, a guess would be the white wire coming back is the other part of the switch. That's coming over here. Not helping a lot. Leaping out at me. Take a look here. You see an automatic switch. Where's the on-off switch? Power plug. Automatic switch. Power's here, driving the clock. Panelescent unit. So that's on all the time. So as soon as I plug it in, the panelescent light should be on. Automatic switch must be the manual switch, which also works automatically. I guess that's what they're doing here. The appliance outlet's on the other side of the switch, the automatic switch. Well, that's the only switch. So from the clock, skip over the switch, we get to the outlet. I connect the clock to the correct side of the outlet, we'd be in business. The outlet's underneath, the clock's up above though, so we don't want to do that. So we can't get to these terminals. And they don't really show you what the, well, it's upside down, the panelescent clip contacts are all about. $12K resistors, and then a variable 500,000 in between. Did I miss the switch? There's another switch? No, there isn't. Okay, not really. Still not readily apparent where to do this. make sure the power is fed in basically to this outlet. I could take maybe the power cord and move it. That's a little big at this point. Clip lead would be nice, just a clip over the switch from the appropriate side of the power line plug. Well, the other side goes to this B minus line, and I mentioned there's a terminal with all kinds of black wires on it. That's got to be that. So the other side is the one we want to clip to, and then extend the clip to the outlet, the side of the outlet not hooked up to the black. The side of the appliance outlet. The appliance outlet. Oh, where's it going? This is the wire. I don't know. This is the wire that's going to one side of the switch, right from the outlet. Right from the outlet to one side of the switch. Okay, that's good. So that's this one. There's no way to get onto it here. Plug right in here. Now just feed the power into this plug. But then the clock wouldn't be powered because the switch is stuck open, and the panelescent panel wouldn't work. That's kind of I'd much rather do this. Okay, so we know which wire it is here. We just need to know how to get on here. So the other wire from the outlet is supposed to be going to the that's right. So this is the terminal that ties to all the black wires here. So there's another black wire coming over. So that's this piece here. So I really want to hook not on there. Son of a gun. Just stick an outlet, stick a plug in here and use the wire off the plug. Hey, that would turn this into a switch. In and out. Crazy. You could probably, without thinking about it, you could probably reverse it and plug it in. Kapowie. But I could do that. I could plug something in here and bring just one wire, one that matches this. And what would I do with it? I would take that one wire, which is coming from the plug, and I would want to put it over to the top of the clock, which is up above, which I don't want to do. Which it would just go back to the other side of the power here. So I'm saying between here and here is the switch. Between the wire coming in and the wire on here is the switch. Yeah, so I could do that. So yeah, find plug the plug in here with a piece of wire coming out and clip it. Plug to go in there with a piece of wire coming out. Well, let's see. So this is a polarized plug. It probably won't go in. No way. I need an unpolarized version of that. Unpolarized version. Okay, I'll look for that. This is not a bad approach because I can pull the plug out and turn the radio off. Okay, found myself a non-polarized plug here with a nice piece of wire on it actually. And we want to attach to the lower wire here. Okay, so this is the ribbed side and this is the smooth side. So it's the smooth side we want to get at. The smooth side. Okay, this is the smooth side here. The other side we just ignore. attach this. Well, where did I say? Where did I say we wanted to attach it? I want to attach it to the white wire here. This is the spot. I'm going to try this on a temporary basis in case I'm moving it all up. Okay, so we're going to clip this right here. I'll make a little voltage measurement before hooking that up. The expectation is there's full line voltage there. Okay, just double check and make sure nothing is where it shouldn't be. Okay, well, it's good enough for a test. One of my cats is crying out there. Hello? Hello? Okay, plugging in this cord. Again, we're going to go through the dim lights. Wait a minute now. It doesn't matter which way I plug this in. Yes and no. It depends upon whether this is going to be at 120 volts or whatever, or not. I don't think it's important for this test. Okay, we're going to turn on the power, and nothing should happen, but the clock should run. Oh my gosh, what is it, Peanut? That's it? Oh, come here. There he goes. Okay, go on out. He wants lap time again every morning, just for a few minutes. Okay, voltmeter reading. I better concentrate on what I'm doing. Yeah, I hear you, Peanut. You're loud and clear here. 9 volts. That's not what I expected. Did I not? 118 here. Not what I expected. How come? Why would that be? Because my meter is messed up. Really? Peanut. Okay, gotta stop. Gotta stop. Yes, Peanut. Okay, I'm coming. I really don't see why this didn't work. Something funny going on. Clip lead okay? Clip lead's good. This is the side. Son of a gun, there's a switch on here. There's a switch on this control. Okay, it's unplugged over here. This is the real problem here. So I'm suspicious this has been replaced because it protrudes. But if it was replaced, then the new one came with a switch. There'd be nothing to wire it up to. It would just be a switch with 2 contacts. But let's take a look in there. What is happening here? Okay, what is happening? Where's the camera? So there's the back of that volume control with the long shaft. And there's a switch on it with these two wires of black and white. The switch appears to be stuck in the on position based on the knob here, but that doesn't mean anything. You certainly can't operate it. So where do those wires go? So they go back here. There they are, black and white twisted together. One goes there, the white one, and the black one. Black one connects to the what I would call, what I would call the hot wire, though I shouldn't, but I'm going to call it that, the hot wire. So that's really the switch that's open. Really? Okay, let's check that out. So I'm going to pull this out, because this was an unnecessary, as it turns out, unnecessary thing. Let's get it out of there. So far, anyway. Get the clip out of here. Ooh, caught on there. Whew. Could have wrecked something there. So we're going to read the voltage across the switch here. Okay, so I'm going to plug it in. Check if everything is safe. Leads ready. Power on. And we're looking for 120 volts, 118.2 in fact. Right there. Right there. There it is. Okay, so we know that's the problem. That switch is open. Now, how have they got this arranged? They've got a switches up here. What were those switches again? This is a very strange arrangement, because if you want the clock to operate the radio, then this switch would have to be switched on. I don't get it. Off, no, auto, off, and manual. Off in the middle. Well, we can short that switch out easy enough. Okay, let's just cut the power here before I end up with a big surprise. Put a clip right across it. Small radio, it won't take much power through this clip lead. A big radio, you wouldn't want to use a clip lead like that, or at least not for long. So resistor right here. Move it up. Okay, so what this will do is it's going to make the radio do something it hasn't done yet while it's been in here. So we could get, let's see, what would we expect from this? Probably the radio will come on and hum. That's probably what we're going to get out of this. Volume control, turn down, is that right? Does it change? No, it's always the same way. Volume control down. Is there anything else here to be concerned about? Sure. I could kind of turn it over, but then if the smoke's going to come out, it's probably going to come out of the top here. So this time when I energize it, we should see the dim light come on a little bit and then go down and come back up, but I don't know if it's going to be bright enough to even be seen in the camera. Should also keep our eye on a tube. Can we see a tube? What I'll do is I'll put this camera here, kind of looking up at the tubes. should be able to see if in fact one of them comes on. Just changing the focus on it a little bit. Okay, we are ready. Probably just going to be a loud hum going to come out of this. Watching the light. If there's something seriously wrong, this light will just be bright, bright, bright. Okay, so 118.7 suggests there's nothing flowing through this radio still. Is that because the other switch is open? We got this switch isn't even mentioned in the schematic. How can this be? How can this be? Where's the volume control? There's the volume control. Oh, see, model variation chart, but that's not an on-off place. That's not an on-off switch. So I'm looking for a dotted line from the volume control that might point to the on-off switch. There's something funny going on here. Parts layout. Model 518 only. There's the on-off switch for this one. 518 model. What are they up to here? There's the volume control sticking way out the side. It sticks out behind the speaker just like it show it. But there's no switch on the back. No switch on the back. This one, oh, that's an oscillator, that's something else. Volume and on-off switch. This one's sticking out the front. On-off switch. Volume and on-off switch sticking out the front. Parts layout 548. Volume control, no switch. Speaker in the middle on this one. Speaker in the middle here. What happened? They get a little mix up in the factory and stuck on off switch when they shouldn't have. Partial schematic diagram. Look at that, 518. These variants which go near the volume control are for radios that have a phono input or not. Pretty darn mysterious. What is going on here? What has happened? Sure looks like that's a factory switch in there. Volume control and switch. See, it's the 598. That's the 598. That's what I've got. There's the volume control tuning. This is the radio. 598 layout. No switch. So could it be the case that the clock switch broke? So somebody came along and said, well, you know what we'll do? We'll put a switch in on the volume control. They replaced the volume control, and that's why it's protruding a little bit. It's not the original one. It's one with a switch. And then they've just carefully added in wires. Kind of doing what I was trying to do with a clip lead, trying to bypass the switch that's in here. So, and then this switch is broken. So I'm just looking at the soldering here. Wow, it doesn't look like it's Did I not plug it in? Is that what happened all this time? I didn't plug it in? Is that it? Is that what happened? I don't remember now. Let's try again. Power off. Maybe I didn't plug this stupid thing in. No, I be the stupid thing. Okay, ready to try again. Volume's down. Plug is in. Let's get this out here before I end up plugging this in. Okay, one more try. There we go. One more. Ooh, now that went nice and bright. So here we go. I didn't have it plugged in. Duh, duh, duh. Okay, so this is indicating the tubes have warmed up. Boy, the light has gone down. Yeah, so tubes are lighting. I can see them lighting in there. Don't hear a hum. No hum at all. That's a little far-fetched. Here it comes. Here comes something. Okay, pretty. Ooh, what was that? What was that pop? I don't know what that was. I'm not sure it came out of the speaker here. It sounded to me like it came out of here. There's a mouse back there. So we're getting a little wee bit of noise out of the speaker. I'm going to risk putting my ear down there. Oh, she's a humming away. She's a humming away. Okay. Let's tune the radio just to see if anything happens over here. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? No, shouldn't need to. This is on an isolation joint, isolation transformer. It's coming. Got 100 volts on it. That should be enough. Let's tune this thing. No, it's not happy about that. Okay. Oh. Is that dirty volume control? Doesn't seem to matter what you do with the tuning. Volume control is making no difference. Or is it? Went off again. Okay, power off. Power off. Plug out. Okay, wow. I would have thought. Hey, man, there's an extra switch in here. Definitely, I can't push this past the switch. So I'm going to install a short on the switch with a piece of wire. So even though I've carried on for another 45 minutes with this radio, I'm going to cut this video short at this point, and tomorrow I'll just pick up from here, the 45 minutes, and another 10 or 15, and I think the radio will be working. So the story, it's interesting. So thanks for watching to this point, and see you tomorrow.